I'm Caroline.
And I'm Phil.
And as usual, Phil is just catching up.
I'm just switching off my sound and then I'm going to tune into the channel and then I'll be able to see.
It'd be nice to have you join us.
I am here, but I'm not there.
No.
Because actually, at the moment, we're there, which means we're in real time, not your time.
You're trying to confuse everybody.
Which is about 7 seconds different, I think. And it's sometimes 12.
So.
Ooh. So I need to go back in time to know what everyone is doing.
Right, but you get on.
I'll go back in time while you check if anybody's there.
I think there's a lot of chat going on, so let's have a look and see who's actually with us tonight. And the first three in are, go at the top of my screen, the Victorian Mudlark. Well done, Adam, first place. Followed closely by Lexi B. Well done, Lexi. And in third place, Ed Creative. And just pipped to the post was Bonnie Tyler fan. So lovely to have you join us. And I'm just going to check at the bottom of my screen now to see nobody shouting, "We can't hear you." Oh, there we go. I feel better now. It's always lovely when I don't get messages saying that we don't have any sound, because I have been fiddling. Apparently tonight, my computer decided that it was going to use the microphone I use off my desktop plus my desktop one, and that gives us an echo. So I tried turning the right one off, but I had no idea if I'd done the right thing, but I did. Oh, I tell you, I'm getting... What are you doing now?
See how that is.
What was the matter?
Well, on my screen, Panky's lost her ears.
Oh, well, we can't have that,
look,
we?
It's me, look, moving the camera. Ha-ha, there we go, she's in. She was most upset. Now it looks on there like it looks on there.
Right. Okay then.
Yeah.
So we sorted.
I need to move in again.
Yes, you're always miles away.
I know, it's because I arrive after you set the camera and I just plonk the seat there. There.
Right.
I am here.
So thank you to everyone who joined us, whether you were on the podium as the first three or not. It's really great on a Saturday night have you all pop around to our place and we have a bit of fun. And we also got that quiz and...
And there's no dispute tonight. I think when we ask the final question, everyone will know the correct answer.
I think you will.
For the first time, including me.
Unless you haven't seen the video yet.
This will be the first time that I have actually known exactly how many times Manky appeared in our video.
But no spoiler alerts if you didn't watch the video. Then you may be surprised.
But one thing we should do straight away, because I don't know if Rachel will be in tonight, because I know there's celebrations happening with her family this week, but I did see a notification that in 1963 her parents were married and have celebrated 60 years of marriage.
That's pretty impressive.
And among the gorgeous cards that she photographed was a couple that I recognise, know them jolly well. Dear old Prince of Wales, now King Charles and his wife, the Queen. They sent a card to her mum. So to Mike and Sheila,
not just to her mum.
No, well,
to both of them really.
In these occasions, it's usually mum that really deserves the medal. See how I dealt with that, folks. So we'd just like to say to Mike and Sheila Bailey, best wishes for today. Well done on 60 years of marriage, and we hope you're having a wonderful time celebrating that fantastic achievement. And we hope you have many, many happy years to come. We've seen some lovely pictures over the time of Rachel and her parents at different events, and we just trust you go on having a great time.
Yes.
So that's fantastic. I just wanted to do that straight off the top of the show.
There we go, straight off the top.
Well, you know what happens? Things don't always fit in, so put the most important things first.
Right. Well, I'm just going to pick up on a couple of comments that I can answer. Beata says, I spot your country crafting in the back. Yep.
Yes.
That's me. I've gone for the green gingham theme this week.
Caroline's been dressing up the shelves this week, as you can see.
And Ed said, is Manky playing the teapot kettle like a trumpet? If he moves there, yes, he is.
And Rachel is in because she's put up a note there saying, yes, I'm in.
Oh, hello
Rachel.
Right, I think that was... I don't think there's anything pressing I've got to reply to. So, let's get on. A few of you were commenting on the drive. That's one thing you have to get used to in Wales, unless you're sticking to main roads, is you're going to come across very narrow roads.
One of the things that we have to be so careful of is when we tow the caravan. Because on our very first outing with the caravan, we got to the caravan park and I knew, see what I do is I go onto the Google Earth and I check any roads that look like they've been narrow. I put the little man down and I have a walk up and down and look for a car that's driving down it on it. So I knew we were safe, and we got there. There was one stretch. But then, having put the caravan on site, parked Abby up, we said, oh, we'll pop and go to the shops. Coming back, our sat-nav said, take a left.
So we did.
We did. We put a video out of that, didn't we?
Oh,
because
that was bad.
It was the worst. The branches were brushing against both sides and hitting the car as we were going.
If something had come the other way, then one of us would have had to reverse for 2 or 3 miles, I think. It was just, there were no passing places.
And when we made the video that went out this week, which was just a few days ago, because we're still not got one in hand yet, but we're trying hard, but life is just so busy. But we went up to Leominster and made the video, and the sat-nav took us a different way to where I'd expected to go. Then, when it said turn right, which was fine, it just surprised me because I thought we were coming up the other side and turning left. A gentleman was putting out cones, and he was saying a sign that said road closed, emergency, find another route. So we drove on down, and then we took a right. I'm telling you, it was wide enough for the caravan. There was no way a cyclist could have passed us coming the other way. It was 1.9 miles with about 3 passing places, and I was so relieved when we got to the other end. It was stressful. And because there are so many tractors on these tracks at the moment with harvest time, it really could have. And as we turned in, I thought, oh, it must be fine because there was a big lorry coming out. If we'd met him halfway down the lane, no one would have been going anywhere, and we never would have got to our
The only thing is, this was at the other end of the roadworks. So I think maybe he was coming from that and had no choice. But, that was hair-raising.
It was, but some of the roads
it adds to the fun.
It does, and we do love our country.
Afterwards, it adds to the fun.
And they're great when you just drive in the car because you can simply reverse it back to the nearest spot if you need to, but I don't do reversing with Abby on.
No.
No.
If we got you, Beata said, I had a road like that in Sittingbourne, 3 miles with hardly any passing places. And Lexi said, imagine meeting a combine harvester. Oh, wow.
We saw a few yesterday, didn't we?
We did, and I've never seen, it was a modern one. And the driver was up there somewhere. It was a huge thing. He was coming the other way, wasn't he?
It was like as if the driver was sat on top of a double-decker bus. Yeah. That's how big, it was a big yellow thing, wasn't it? And that went through, and then it was in a convoy. Obviously, you had the harvester, and then you had 1 or 2 other vehicles behind. But the roads, when we were travelling yesterday, were full of tractors. And we were staying just for a night or so at a place right in the quietness of the countryside. It's not as quiet as usual, because all day long, you can hear the tractors dragging the hay up and down with the big bowls of hay on the back. But busy time for the farmers now. They're trying to get, I think they were trying to get as much done as they could before today. Because today in the UK, we got the first storm of the season that was named.
We did.
What was it called? It wasn't Anthony, it was Antony,
I think. Antony,
was it? Yeah, so it didn't do too much bother you, but it was wet and blustery all morning. But some parts of the country got hit hard, and I think the farmers were hoping to get in as much of their crop as they could, the hay, etc., before the storm came, so that it was
apparently, I was reading that it's more difficult for the farmers this year because it's been so wet the last couple of weeks that even when they take the hay in, it's no good for making bales of hay anymore. They've got to turn it to silage and things. So I don't know how accurate that was. You can't believe everything you read on the internet, but it makes sense. And they're probably very worried because there's, wait a minute, I think it may have been, you know me and my memory, it may have been that they couldn't sell it as wheat for making into flour. They had to make it into hay. Or so it's not good enough quality for what they usually use it for. That sums it up, okay? Right, then we really need to be going on with a question.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go with that. Right then, lots of conversations going on there. Okay, folks, I got to eat cake on this week's video. Hooray!
So did I.
And even Caroline pinched a bite. But we were very kind and generous as always, and we did offer everyone a bite.
We did. I hope you enjoyed it. It tasted lovely, didn't it?
And I must say, Jan makes wonderful across-the-border cakes. More commonly known back home as Welsh cakes. But as I said, there's no way I would ever make a comparison between anyone else's Welsh cake and my mum's, because at the end of the day, mum's will always be best, because mum always makes the best cake, innit? So, I've got a question for you about Jan's across-the-border cakes. And just in case either of our stall holders are going to tune into this, then we just like to say thank you to them both.
Yes,
it was lovely to meet people that were so ready to join in the fun and be part of the filming, because it was a lovely little market.
Oh, it was, yes. A lovely town and then a lovely market. Brilliant place to be. Yes. I could have spent hours there.
Yeah, it was really nice to meet the people. And I know how much you out there love it when we meet people, because it brings characters into your homes for you to meet as well. So here's the question, folks. How observant are you?
Remember, no answers until I say go, and you see go coming up in the screen.
Right. Kyle's already said it.
Kyle's keen.
Kyle, you're keen,
I see that,
you're keen. You're right, you've got to wait for go to appear on your screen before you go. Here we go. How many across-the-border cakes can you buy on Jan's stall for £1? A1, B2, C3.
Go. Ooh.
If you want to, you can just put the number, obviously. But how many across-the-border Welsh cakes can you buy on Jan's stall if you've got £1?
Oh, Lexi said aye, and she was selling Eccles cakes too, but was she from Eccles? Probably not. We did have a conversation about dead fly cakes, because she always calls them dead fly cakes.
That's right, yeah,
cakes.
It was the Eccles
I was thinking
cakes,
if I spoiled one of Phil's questions.
No, that was
the Eccles cakes.
That was the Eccles
right.
cakes. So she crammed them with currants, and you could see them all inside. And she said in the house, she's always known them and told her grandchildren they were dead fly cakes.
Yeah.
But she said she couldn't write that.
Yeah, her husband thought it probably wasn't very good.
She might get in trouble with the trading standards.
Because we always call Garibaldi dead fly biscuits.
Yeah.
Does anybody else call Garibaldi dead fly biscuits? Anyway, we need an answer.
You need an answer. Right, well, I'd better see if anyone's got the correct answer. Because if they haven't, then I
can see one of everything at least, so we don't care. The Victorian Mudlark is struggling tonight because he put Z. You could be right. Hang on in there. Feel positive about yourself.
No. Well, he's obviously put 2 down, because he's also got another one further up.
Oh, thank you, Kate and Oliver. They've given us a coffee donation.
Oh, that's
thank you.
lovely
That's really kind of you, and we really do appreciate that, both. Thank you ever so much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you very much. You're an absolute star, Oliver. Okay, well, here we go, because I would say the least popular answer is the correct answer, because the correct answer is you'd get 1 Welsh cake for £1.
1 for £1.
1 for £1. On the top, when Caroline showed the notice, it said across the border cakes, in brackets Welsh cakes, £1 each.
Yes.
So, the first correct answer is the Victorian Mudlark. Well done,
yes,
Adam.
Didn't mean that, Lol. This laptop is having a mental breakdown. It sounds like all my electronic equipment.
Yeah, and Z and A are very close together. And the second correct answer, and as I'm looking for it, I'll just say thanks for the lovely pictures of you on your train again today, Adam. You really look at home on that train, mate. And I didn't think for a minute you were bald. I knew it was the wind. Right, and I'm still looking. Oh, yes, here we go. P. Mitch.
Oh, well done, P. Mitch.
So we've got 2 correct answers.
Ooh, have we got a third?
Yes, we have.
Right.
But my thing just jumped.
It's terrible trying to look.
In a galaxy far, far away,
well done,
Darth. And in fact, they are the only 3 correct answers on the board. And we had about 30 answers in.
Yes.
And the only 3 that thought a Welsh cake could possibly be worth £1 but they were very nice Welsh cakes.
I've got some interesting comments going on here. Rachel Bailey said, we call it fly pie. And Beata did her driving lessons in Eccles. And I think there was something else. Lexi said, yes, Garibaldi, put my glasses on. Dead fly biscuits. Corned beef is corned dog here too.
Oh, it seems that Beata had some Welsh cakes when she met up with Oliver.
Right.
They had Welsh cakes.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit distracted here. Somebody said, what are Welsh cakes? They're like they're almost like a scone, but not quite.
Have you ever made them on, you done pancakes? Have you done Welsh cakes?
I thought I did Welsh cakes, yes, possibly. On one of our videos or many. It could have been on our other channel. No, I don't think so. No.
We'll have to check. And if we've got a video of the Welsh cakes, we'll bring it up as a link in the Facebook.
Right, I'm going to take my life in my hands now and go off
don't do
my
that.
page. You entertain people, sing or something.
If I disappear at this point, right, it's because at this moment, all that shows up on Caroline's screen is Google. And Caroline is searching for something, which is not advisable because tech support Tim is down with one of their best friends, Audie, in Cardiff this evening. So if anything goes wrong in this moment, it's down to me to fix it. Which basically means you're never going to see us again.
You may.
Oh, look out, Caroline's.
I may end up having some sound on you. I'll try not to.
Right, you're trying to get the link, yeah?
The link, yeah.
Oh, I tell you, she's going all technical. This is a video from back in our mudlarking days, and it's got Caroline actually making Welsh cakes. What better way to answer the inquiry? Because Caroline's going to come back, and we are still here.
We go. Are you ready for this?
There we go, folks. If you want to know how to make Welsh cakes, there's your link. Ta-da. And in fairness, we were talking to Jan at the Cake Hall, and she was saying that the recipe she uses, she did get from Wales, didn't she? From somebody who makes the Welsh cakes to sell at market, and she did. She tried numerous ones over the years, and that was her favourite recipe.
Yes,
that she got from Wales. So, just to mention as well, I mentioned about Adam put up his pictures, and I've wished Rachel's parents a happy anniversary, but there's been lots of activity over on our Facebook page. And that includes another picture, a series of pictures from Rachel, because it turns out Rachel's grandfather was a cabinet maker and carpenter. He worked for CWS in their factory in Birmingham, and during the war, they stopped making furniture and making fuselages for bombers. And there's a picture with her granddad on the picture, but also there are pictures.
I've seen that picture, yeah.
Of a desk that he made for Rachel, and so cleverly, he's rebaited both sides, so when she drops it down, she would never catch her fingers.
Very clever.
As I said on my comment, a very, very skilled man, and she must be very proud of him. So, I tell you, we get all manner of things on there, but another skilled man who has been putting up pictures is John. John Elliott, alias the man with the brick obsession ever since he met me. At least that's how Mary, his wife, describes him, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
As she blames me entirely for the fact that she has enough bricks in her backyard to build another house. But he has got a corpus, and he put the picture up of it all damaged and broken, and we asked if he would keep pictures of it ongoing, and there are now, for those who haven't seen him, the work he's doing is wonderful.
Yeah, very clever.
Absolutely. Another skilled individual.
And Manky wants me to point out what he thinks is the most important post on the whole of Facebook this week. Guess what? He features in it. And it is Manky, and Ed has made him into a Manky lion.
Yes.
And he's turned him into a lion, and Manky insisted that I tell you all. So if you want to pop over and check it out and tell Manky how wonderful he looks and tell Ed how clever he is, then go ahead.
Yes, and Ed has been making a number of creative things this week, including rooks on a roof. Yes, how many rooks on the roof? Now you gotta give it to people when they walk down a street and have a creative moment and think, I'm going to take a picture of all those rooks on that roof and I'm going to put it out there to give the people a challenge. And I had a go. I don't know if I got it right, but I had a go at counting the rooks on a roof.
Right then. So, we ought to have another question. Before we have another question, I'm going to show you what I bought.
Yes. Wasn't the prices good, folks? A few of you commented on the premiere. You know, I thought that blanket box under the table for a £5.
Oh, very good, yeah.
And that other box, you know, the one that was with a Union Jack on. I was watching Philip Serrell on Antiques Road Trip, and he picked up a box about that size on the Celebrity Antiques Road Trip, and they paid about £35 for it.
Yeah.
And that one was a £5. There's some real bargains to be had in Leominster, including this.
Look at that for £1.
I tell you now that I get a Welsh cake, Caroline gets that.
Yeah,
Isn't that good going?
This is what I wanted. I was particularly looking for something to put. I wanted something urn-shaped to put a flower arrangement in, and now I've got to decide. I like it the way it is, but I would never have this in my house because it doesn't suit the decor. So I was planning on painting over it, but I'm like, oh, I don't know whether to or not. So.
But in fairness, whether you paint over it or not,
at £1,
can you get something like that for £1? Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I've been quite distressed by the prices in some charity shops at the moment, because as money is getting tighter for everyone, it's like as if the charity shop prices are getting higher, so it's even expensive for people on a very tight budget to buy in a charity shop. I would say the prices on that outside those vintage shops on the high street in Leominster were better prices. You wouldn't get that for £1 in a charity shop, would it?
No, and it is 12 inches high. Just measured it now.
There we go. So I thought that was an excellent.
Yeah.
And there was lots and lots and lots of stuff there. But I have got a question related to that.
Oh,
if you'd like to go for it. Fancy that, folks? Mini Beasters said, I have a slightly long brick joke.
Go on then.
Nothing new there, Mini Beasters there. Right then, here's your question.
Remember, don't put the answer down until I say go, or you see go come on the screen.
When Caroline was filming outside the vintage and antique shops, and by the way, there are a lot of vintage and antique shops there, Nika. They are quite famed for it. If you went to Hay on Wye for books, you can go there and pick up some pretty nice bargains in antique shops and vintage shops and the rest. They've got lots of them. But when Caroline was filming and doing the montage, I believe it was on the same shop but outside the window rather than on the pavement, that Caroline filmed an hourglass with the sands, the white sands running down. Here's my question. What was painted on the teapot standing next to the hourglass?
Ooh.
It was a flower, but was it A, a rose, B, a daffodil, or C, a poppy?
Go. Right, before you carry on, I'm going to leave you to it now because somebody said look it up. So I'm going to look it up, so I'm going to disappear again. But you won't know I've disappeared, but you've all disappeared to me, so Phil is going to now entertain you.
You're just getting brave, you are. Because Caroline got away with getting the link so that you can all make Welsh cakes tonight. Now she's off again now, and she's looking at her latest pottery find to see if we've got ourselves a Ming. No, they're lidded ones, aren't they? Slightly different.
Right there, I'm on eBay, I'm having a look. Or somebody's selling one for £25, but you can ask £100 for them. That doesn't mean you'll get it. So I'm popping over to Sold.
Now have a look on Sold.
And right, £2.50 one's gone for. And
some are going in 20s, are they?
Yeah, but they're completely different. They were Jasper where they are, and they're Wedgwood. Put in KLM Staffordshire, and up comes Wedgwood. Yep, so it probably isn't worth vast amounts of money, but still,
it's a lovely
I like
thing.
it.
And it's the shape, it's the form you want, isn't it?
Yep. Right, then I've got to try and get you all back.
Now I've got to have a look at these answers, because you were such a distraction when we're trying to do questions. You know.
I am. I don't know why you put up with me.
Right then. So the question was, folks, next door to the hourglass, there was a nice large teapot, and you know, check out teapots around here. What flower was painted on it? Are you going to go A for rose, B for daffodil, C for poppy. Well, I can tell you there are correct answers in, and more correct answers this time than last time, I believe. Not significantly, but there are more. And I've got 3 correct answers on the first page. So we've got a poppy on the teapot.
A poppy.
Yes, that Caroline filmed. A poppy. So you're looking for C. And the first correct answer in is the second answer on the list, and that is from the man himself, the creator, the Photoshop genius of Facebook. Mr. Ed created.
Well done, Ed.
Then we've got the Victorian mudlark.
Well done, Adam.
And then we've got Mini Beast's dad.
Oh, well done, Mini Beast Dad. Congratulations.
No.
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 Oh, no.
I misread it.
Oh, sorry about that.
My dyslexia kicking in.
Retract that.
No, it's Mini Beast.
Mini Beast.
Because
well done, Mini Beast. Phil, taking your crown off you.
It's the way it's written made it complicated for me to read because of my dyslexia. Genuinely. Dad says B, Mum agrees with Dad, and I say C. So I read it, Dad says C at the end.
Yeah.
Like, because I miss words sometimes when I'm reading.
The silly billy.
So there we go. It's Mini Beast that said C, and Mum and Dad thought it was a daffodil. Mini Beast thought it was a poppy, and a poppy it was. So it is Ed, Adam, and Mini Beast.
Well done.
There we go.
And I'm going to pop back over to the comments again. Rachel said KLM is a small pottery in Staffordshire from 1998 to 2003. Now, when I bought that vase, I knew I was probably going to paint it, and I went in and got it from the man in the shop, and he said, "Ooh, that's a really old one, that's really vintage, it could be an antique." And I was thinking, how am I going to break it to him? I'm going to paint it, I won't say anything. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. But it doesn't matter now if it was, so, mind you, 98's a fair, when you think, what's that now, nearly 30 years ago? Makes me feel old. But
It is right.
I don't feel so bad about painting it now. And
It's a good chunk for £1.
Ed has seen one on eBay for $14.99, but it was brown and fancier. And Lexi thought KLM was an airline. Yep, me too.
It is. We've flown on it.
And I've got to read these jokes off Mini B.
We flew to China on KLM,
We did. Mini B said, "What is red and bad for your teeth? A brick. What is blue and bad for your teeth? The same brick moving really fast. And if a red house has red bricks, a yellow house has yellow bricks, what kind of bricks does a greenhouse have? None. A greenhouse is made out of glass." Oh, very good, very good.
Oh, the old ones are the best, so they say. And who are we to argue with them? On the subject of bricks, Stephen has found some nice collection of bricks.
Yeah.
Also has come up with a name for a double-lined wishing stone. It's now a kissing stone. And for those who haven't seen it, there is now a feature-length video of the ducks in action. Now,
we're all bonding with these ducks.
Lots of little videos. Now we've got a feature-length. It's just over 5 minutes long. And you will see a naughty duck in action too, who has decided that whilst Stephen is very generous with the feed and does share it with all the ducks, they thought maybe they could find a way to get more. But I won't tell you how. That'd be a spoiler. But there we go. It's all on the Facebook group. And thanks for those who've joined this week, because we're up to 83 members in the group now.
Yeah, and if you're on the page and not on the group, we do really have to close our page down at some point. So make sure you come onto the group as well. Otherwise, you could end up losing the contact. But on the page, you can't actually interact very well or anything. And the group is so much more active now anyway. So we are going to eventually, if I can get, Facebook won't let me close the page down. I tried closing it down about a year ago and they wouldn't let me close it down. So I'll see if I can do something. So it may at some point disappear. So if you know you're on the page and not on the group, which gets very confusing, then if you wouldn't mind coming over to the group, then it would be better.
There we go. So that's sorted. But everyone is welcome. As I say, it's a closed group, but we let anybody in that wants to come in. It just means that if there is any issues, if we did end up with a troll or anything, we can always put them straight back out, sort of thing. That's the way we work it, because we just want everyone to have fun and share
right, and
stories.
feel safe and secure, and there's not nastiness in there at all. You're all happy.
Indeed.
Right, do you going to do some happy news for us?
I can do, yes. I can do some happy news, or would you like to? I'll do my happy news. Okay, my happy news has actually been sent in by Mike Sage.
Right.
Mike Sage has sent some happy news, and along in the email which he attached this story, he put the comment on the story, "Power of positivity at its finest."
At its finest.
Headline: 250-metre long snake brings smiles to Sarnia waterfront. There is no hiss or slither as a 250-metre, that's 820-foot snake takes over the waterfront. Since June the 16th, Rocky the snake has been growing. It amazes me every day, said Wendy Marsden. Wendy saw a picture of a rock snake online and was so inspired, she painted 13 rocks of her own and brought them down to the waterfront with her partner Rick. Rick said, "We made a sign to encourage others to do the same, hit it in with a stake, and Wendy laid the 13 rocks to start with. Since then, in just 5 weeks, Rocky's grown to include nearly 3,000 rocks, forcing his original width to double to accommodate the number of rocks on the waterfront. Many of the painted rocks making up his body are quite artistic, while others share messages, including at least one marriage proposal."
Ooh, very romantic.
Olivia painted words of positivity on one of her rocks. "Don't worry, be happy." And while placing her other rocks alongside her grandmother Tess, she agreed Rocky's presence is changing attitudes. "I think he brings joy to everyone," she said. Further down Rocky's body, Anna agreed. "It just sort of shows how lovely people can come together and build together, to build on positive things," she explained. So I thought that was a lovely story, and thank you, Mike, for sending that in. You know, and the illustration there, I suppose, for us all is it just takes one person to start and set the example, and it's surprising how that can grow. I think it was last week we had a story and the chap said, "I just want to throw it out there and not just make a splash, but see how far the ripples go." And it is that impact, you know, that good can have. And I thought that was a lovely illustration. So Mike, thanks for sending that in. And that's your first piece of happy news for tonight.
I can't find Lynn's comment. "I think the prices in charity shops are ridiculous considering people donate everything. It's sometimes cheaper to buy new. It can, since COVID, things have really soared. But Lexi said she's watched a YouTuber who does dumpster diving and did charity shop waste bins. So many donations were just binned despite being good stuff. I used to watch he was called Random Brandon at the time. I know he's changed his name now, but if you look up Random Brandon, probably still comes up. And there was just one dumpster, or there may have been two, one next door to the other, and he went there once a week and just looked into the dumpster and found all the different things that were in there. And it was great fun. He's quite entertaining as well. And he used to say, "Look, these crazy people, they've thrown this away." And I'm sure somebody would love that. And one thing always used to amuse me, he used to say, "Oh, I got something like a slow cooker." And there was a man who lived in his street who was homeless and lived in cardboard boxes. He said, "I'll take this for him, it'll be useful." And I used to think, he can't plug it in. But, he was great fun to watch. I don't know what he does now. I think he stopped doing the dumpster dive, and I think he does other things, and that's why he changed his name. But that was great fun, that one. Random Brandon. If you do find him, then go over there and say we told you about him. You'd be thinking, who are those Johnsons? Right, where we go? Shall I do my happy news now?
Hang on, before you do your happy news, what if I just do a couple more of the highlights of the Facebook page? Because I've got a few. We've had Nigel has put up a post which brought back a few memories for Manky, because Nigel's been riding on the funicular at Ebervale.
Yeah.
And as he said, it's the sort of thing you may expect to see in some European city, but quite surprising to see such technology being used in Ebervale.
We had no idea it was there till we went. Is that a funicular?
And it's such a practical method in the town.
And it's free.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Brilliant means of transport. So that was an excellent post by Nigel. We thank him for that. Michelle has been putting up several posts from Irish soda bread to bears on Toblerone packets, which really intrigued Manky. He thought that was fantastic because he spotted the bear.
Yes, we never realised it was there. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
And folks, if you haven't seen it yet, you need, if you're feeling a little down in any way, shape or form, you need to watch the video that Michelle posted of a cat feeling good, because it's very good. Excellent.
Enjoy that.
So that was brilliant. And Dan early in the week posted a dancing lady at Stonehenge, and Lexi put up pictures of Bronte who's been to the barbers.
Yes, looking very smart.
I think they call them the groomers.
Yeah.
But I wrote down barbers. So again, variety. Are you going to go?
I've got to do this. Mini Beast has had us another joke. What does a panda use to cook? A panda? Oh. Very good, very good. Right. Lexi said they removed the bear, I thought. I don't know. The picture we saw...
The one that's up on Facebook, it was
on that packet.
So it may
maybe
have gone now.
Oh, right. If somebody's got a Toblerone in the house, pop to the cupboard, get it out and let us know.
Yes, because by the time we finish, the shops will be shut, so I can't go and buy one. Otherwise, I would have, purely in the interest of research, I would have gone and bought a very large Toblerone to check. That's me.
Oh, you're so dedicated.
I am dedicated.
See how much he thinks of you all the time. Go out and buy a Toblerone.
So dedicated to this channel, I would go and buy a Toblerone and eat it, because that's the kind of man I am.
Right, shall I do our happy news?
Right, if you want to, love, you can do your happy news.
Oops, there we go.
You send them back on the right.
Right. Oh, mine's rather long as well. This is the first time I've seen this one. 7-year-old boy gets to finally go fishing. A 7-year-old boy born without any arms has finally been able to hold a fishing rod with 2 hands for the first time. Alex spent birthdays wishing his arm would grow, but now he's happily casting alongside his dad and using a new life-changing $16,000 prosthetic limb. The Black Panther themed arm was a gift from Britain's kindest plumber, James Anderson, a 55-year-old who was touched by Alex's tale. Oh wow, that's lovely, isn't it? After his parents attended an event by Open Bionics, which makes a robotic arm so advanced it allows the wearer to pick up a pin with its fingers. I can't always do that, mine are real ones. They launched a crowdfunding bid to raise £12,700, which is $16,000, needed to purchase the arm, which would be life-changing for Alex. When plumber James, who runs a social benefits organisation that provides free services to the elderly and others struggling with rent and housing problems, saw the online appeal, he offered to pay for the arm. Since receiving his Black Panther themed arm, Alex has been able to put toothpaste on his toothbrush for the first time and tie his shoelaces. And Alex is ecstatic to have finally fulfilled his long-time dream of holding a rod for the first time during a fishing trip with his dad. Oh, isn't that lovely? And what makes me think is, like, he put toothpaste on his toothbrush. It's the little things we take for granted, isn't it? And it must be amazing if you've never had these and suddenly you can do it. It must feel magical. Because we do tend to take some of the things we have for granted, like our mobility even. But yeah, that's a really nice story. I like that one.
I thought the story of the plumber was lovely too. The fact that he not only did this, but actually he runs a social enterprise business where, as a plumber, he does a lot of work for people who can't afford it, and he'll do it at cost and free, which I thought was lovely.
Yeah.
You know, again, these stories bring out the fact there are really nice people out there, and they make a difference. Yep.
Kyle said, I got one. What did you want to know? Look on the mountain, Kyle, on the bar of chocolate, and see if you can see a bear.
The shape of a bear in the snow sort of thing, it is.
Yes,
snow on the mountain.
All the shapes on the mountain, and there is a bear in the middle.
I think Kyle's just trying to make me jealous, and he's pretending he's got a Toblerone because he knows I haven't got one. That's what I think it is.
That's why you tease him.
That's my theory. Do you want another question while
yes,
Kyle's checking that for us? Shall we have another question? Okay then, folks. This will test your knowledge, because I want to know if you are a cordwainer, spelled C-O-R-D-W-A-I-N-E-R. If you're a cordwainer, what would you make? Would it be A, rope, B, shoes, or C, cloth?
Go.
What does a cordwainer make?
Oh, you got the answers.
Do you think they make rope? That would be A, shoes be B, cloth be C. And the answer was in the video. And I didn't say it, and Caroline didn't say it, but it was written somewhere in there. Isn't that interesting, dear? Do you know? Do you know what it was?
I'm pretty sure I know what it was.
You think you know what it was? I think it's... I found this a
let's
very
check.
interesting question.
I'm probably wrong now. I was wrong.
I thought it was a very... And you filmed it, dear.
I did, but the thing is, I'm filming and my screen is about this big.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through, and sometimes, or when we were mudlarking, it was a nightmare. I'd walk along and I'd be looking through my little screen as I was walking along, and then Phil would come behind me and find loads of things because he was looking with his eyes. So occasionally I'd say, you hold the camera, I want to look with my eyes.
Well, we got quite a number of correct answers.
Oh no! Kyle said, typical, my Toblerone's a special edition one from the airport with no mountains.
Oh, that's no good, Kyle. Put it in the post, send it to me, I'll eat it for you.
Don't do it, Kyle, don't do it. You keep it for yourself. Oh, Lexi said, Phil needs one of those giant Toblerones. Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't enjoy that.
No, I'll wait. I'll be a good boy. I'll wait till Christmas, and that'll be my Christmas chocolate. I like my Toblerone. I like the ones they do with bits in. You know, not just the bits that are normally in them. They do ones with fruit and nut and things, don't they? Which is, I'm sure a lot of people would think is kind of very naughty to muck about with the original recipe. But I'm happy to muck around with recipes as long as they leave the chocolate in. Okay,
hello, Linda.
Let's give you the answer, folks, because a lot of you either knew it or were very observant and caught it in the film, because Caroline filmed a very narrow lane and it was set to music in one of the transitions from the high street over to the chapel. And in that transition, the narrow lane had the name on it. And it said Cordwainer Lane. And underneath it had Shoemaker. Because people wouldn't know what it meant.
I think it made rope.
Shoemaker wouldn't have been underneath it in the ancient times. It just would have said, because people would have known. So, the correct answer was achieved first by Judy Erickson.
Well done, Judy.
Secondly, by, gosh, she's taken some podium places today, the man on a train with an anchor, and you don't see many of those. It's our star Adam.
Well done, Adam.
And the third correct answer is from, did I get this right? Carlin Scott.
Well done, Carlin.
I had to look because we've got three in a row, because Carlin is in and the third position, but Michelle Grady and Rachel Bailey were B's right behind. So three in a row there. But the actual podium positions go to Judy, Adam, and Caroline. Right?
Well done. Mini Beast is in with another joke. Oh. Manky should enjoy this one. What goes black, white, black, white, black, white? A panda rolling down a hill. Did you like that one? Oh, yes, he's giggling. He's blowing his trumpet kettle extra loud.
Indeed.
Hopefully you can't hear it, because it's very loud and not a nice sound.
Now, something I didn't realise is that I thought a cobbler made shoes, not a cordwainer. But I have learnt in my research today that I'm wrong. because if you make shoes from leather, take leather and form a shoe, then you're a cordwainer. A cobbler is a repairer of shoes.
Right.
So there. But we do interchange in as much as I think the word cobbler has kept going, and we don't use cordwainer anymore.
No.
So I think we would now, perhaps mistakenly, or development of language,
I would have just thought of it, funnily enough, though, as a shoemaker, because of the story of the elves and the shoemaker. Yeah. So I wouldn't have put cobbler in there.
But because the streets of Leominster are so old, we're going back 400-500 years and more, that they were going through these lanes that are still standing, then they would have had the sign on there that would have said,
so you knew
instead of now we would call it Shoemaker Lane, but they had to put shoemaker in brackets so all of us would know exactly what it was. So there we go, folks. You learn things here, you definitely do.
Lexi said, Phil, if the company shop ever sell off Toblerone like they did the Purple Quality Street, I will send you a shipping order. Oh, can you imagine, Phil? He turned up the next week with a big grin on his face.
When Lexi said the company shop, in my head, because of the video we did from Blaenavon, and so many people making the comment, in my head with the lyrics of the song, I owe my soul to the company store. Because a number of people referred to that one on that occasion, and I like that particular song.
Right, Linda said, hi Carl, I finally started watching your crafting channel. Lots of fun. Oh, thank you, Linda. Glad you enjoy it. And see if I can go down without this whizzing away from me. No, as soon as I try going down, it just slips right on the page. Beata said, quote from the paper, the image of the Matterhorn mountain peak will be removed from Toblerone packaging after some of the chocolate bars production is moved outside of Switzerland. Right, so that's why they want to get rid of it then. Meaning it falls foul of marketing restrictions relating to the use of Swiss iconography.
Right. They can't use something that suggests it's Swiss if they have moved the production. Well, I think it's sad they're moving the production. I think they should make it like champagne. You can only make Toblerone in Switzerland.
In Toblerone land.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it should be given the same ranking as Cornish pasties, Philly cheese and champagne. That's what I think, because it's an iconic thing. That's my personal opinion.
Well, Lexi said that makes sense, as we had a bootmaker, cobbler and cordwainer in the same family. My great-great-granddad was a cobbler bootmaker. That would explain it, wouldn't it?
There you go. Yeah, there we are. Well, a shoemaker forming shoes from leather would have been cordwainer. There we go. Interesting stuff. Cool, I tell you what, this is pretty eyebrow, you know, eyebrow. This is Saturday night eyebrow entertainment.
Depending on who you are, for us it is.
Yeah, for me this is really going places. And also,
Ed googled it. Shoemaker in Welsh is Creed.
Oh, there we go there.
There you are, thank you, Ed.
And
know a little bit more Welsh now.
You mentioned Beata giving the explanation there. Just to mention, Beata has posted another beautiful set of photographs. In fact, I think 2 sets are going up this week. I think early in the week we had the photos that included those gorgeous vintage cars, and then later on in the week then we had the photos quite recently gone up, which was Rochester, Canterbury and Dover. And a few people have made comments, and I will add my voice to that. Beata is an excellent photographer. Some beautiful images there, folks. If you've never been to those places, looking at those photos would certainly inspire you to go there. And just to say, Beata, we are so glad you are safe back home, and it's wonderful to see that you managed to cover so much in your time here, that the weather, although changeable, wasn't too bad.
Beata said in German is a Schumacher. We got a racing car driver.
That's right. That's a German. Perhaps that's where his name comes from.
Probably is, yeah.
Probably his family. That was their job.
Phyllis said another name for cobbler in America is hacky. Right. That's. Oh, wonder where that came from. Hacky. It's unusual.
Oh, right, now it's getting eyebrow. Now we're getting multiple. We're now multi-language.
Oh, I know. We're so cultural.
I tell you what, it's shocking.
Right then, should we have another question?
Well, we got 9 minutes to go, so we better head. The Priory Church. Wasn't that a beautiful building? And quite inspirational. But one of the things that struck me was the incredible blend of the ancient and the modern when it came to the furnishings. You always get this through the cathedrals, churches and these sorts of buildings, because of course the vast majority of what we see today tends to be Victorian restoration. So that in itself is modern compared to such as the Norman nave that we were studying at one point, isn't it? So, but then they took it to another level in this Priory Church at Leominster, because Caroline showed you that gorgeous furnishings with the light wood throne, and then the round table, and then the seating arranged all around, which, as Caroline said, put you in mind of King Arthur and the round table. It really was beautiful. Caroline asked the question regarding the stained glass, or made the statement, wouldn't it be lovely if they actually had the means to light that? Well, I got down and had a look under the table, and I can tell you that below that disc of stained glass, underneath it is boxed in, and I believe there is a light in there that would shine up through, which I would imagine would look absolutely stunning. My question is, on that piece of round stained glass at the centre of that gorgeous table, how many fish are depicted in the design? Was it A, 3, B, 4 or C, 5?
Go. Right, while the answers are coming in, Minnie B said, you don't think these panda bear jokes are funny? Bear with me, they get very funny soon. And let's have a look. Peggy said, this question seems pretty dumb, but what do you call the Welsh language? The only dumb question is one you don't like to ask. I don't think that's dumb at all. We call it Welsh. So nice easy one, that. Let's have a look now. I think we're okay. Yeah, it's just answers coming in.
And what is Welsh in Welsh?
Cymraeg.
Yeah.
Yes, in Welsh it would be Cymraeg. Yeah, I see what you mean now.
Because there was
which Lexi's come in and said, yeah.
Yeah, because there was obviously we don't speak Welsh, so we refer to it as
so
our
we
Welsh
were talking,
language.
Yes, our language would be Welsh, but in Welsh it would be Cymraeg.
Yeah, because there was a book when we were in school.
Siarad Cymraeg.
Siarad Cymraeg.
We all learned from Siarad Cymraeg.
Which is talking Welsh. Pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, speaking Welsh. Sounds posher.
And
Wales is Cymru.
Yeah.
And that's where Cymraeg comes from.
I did a service this week for a lovely chap, and he was so into Wales that he had been on Duolingo for 1,200 days consecutive learning the Welsh language.
I thought I was doing really good when I got 100 days on Duolingo, and then you hear people have got like 1,000 days, and there's somebody...
Lexi's done quite well.
I know, you were well ahead of me, Lexi. I'll never catch up with you in a million years. And I think, oh well, perhaps I'm not doing so good. I think I'm on 272 days now.
Yeah. This chap, he was so into Wales, I wore my Welsh tie.
You did.
To take the service, I did.
Very patriotic.
Very patriotic, yes. But, and I used Welsh words in the service, but I have to often use my Welsh phonetically. I do what Mrs. Thatcher did. Never thought you'd hear me say that I do something Mrs. Thatcher did, did you? Now that is a statement I don't make often, but it is said that Mrs. Thatcher went to France on a European summit and stood up and to everyone's amazement spoke in French. But it turned out it was all written phonetically, and she was speaking, reading and saying this speech, and she didn't know actually what each word was, but just learnt it by rote. So I do that with certain Welsh phrases and that's what I did.
Beata said, I once ordered a Welsh rabbit thinking it was rabbit, but I was given cheese on toast.
Yes. Yes, that's a common mistake.
Yeah. Peggy said, is Welsh a hard language to learn? I don't think it's particularly hard, but the pronunciation is very difficult. It can be like we say...
We've got
double L is...
sounds, and
a lot of people struggle with... They say cl, and it's not cl, it's... It's like a sort of blowy sound either side of your tongue, and...
Double L's, double D's. And just to confuse you, if you see an F, it's V. Yeah. If you want F, you've got to have double F.
Yeah. So there's rules. It's more the pronunciation I would think is difficult.
It's a language that's growing at a phenomenal rate in Wales. The Welsh Language Lobby did a tremendous job over the last 50 years And now you can't work for the local authority unless you speak Welsh or are willing to learn Welsh. So all of our employees on the local authority all speak Welsh. All of our signs are now in Duolingo. We have Welsh and English on all signs.
And Duolingo?
Yeah, so I couldn't think of the right word, so I thought I'd say...
Check that in. Hopefully nobody will notice.
It isn't Duolingo, innit? It's double language.
Yeah.
See, I know my stuff. I'm just being, on trend. Because Max Boyce...
Do you mean bilingual, do you think?
Yeah. Max Boyce, back in the late 60s and 70s, he had a song, and the people that were trying to get the Welsh language recognised at that time, because it wasn't, went out, and wherever a sign was up only in English, they painted green. And he had a line in one of his songs, "The signs to heaven are all in Welsh, hell signs are painted green." Yeah. And that was one of his lines in one of his comedy songs. So there we go.
Right, Minnie Beast has sent us a joke in Welsh. Now, just to give you some idea of what Welsh sounds like, now I'm not brilliant at Welsh, but I'll do my best because some of these are new words to me. And it says, beth yw'r gwahaniaeth rhwng pander ac athwen, tua mil o fildroedd. Fildiroedd. Translation: what is the difference between a panda and a polar bear? About 1,000 miles.
Oh,
yeah, very good.
The only way to make a joke longer is to put it in bilingual. That's the word. Put it in Duolingo.
And Lexi said, are you studying Spanish? No, Anne, sorry. Said, keep going. Are you studying Spanish and German on Duolingo? I done a little bit of German, and then because I was trying to, our daughter-in-law is German, and she was trying to bring Max up.
Max is going to be bilingual, yeah.
But Max really doesn't like speaking German, so I think, well, I don't really want to speak German to him because he'll get irritated by me. So I stopped learning that. I concentrated on Spanish, and now I've started to learn a little bit of Portuguese as well, which everybody said is really easy because it's so much like Spanish. Oh, I find it really difficult because some things you can guess the translation of the word, but the basic things you say, like I and the, things are completely different.
I've just realised.
Yes.
We haven't given the answer to the question.
I suppose everybody would want the answer then, wouldn't they?
I do. We all got off on a tangent talking about languages and Welsh. So I don't think I've given the answer to the question, how many fishes were on the table, have I?
No. Should we have some answers then?
Yeah. Now, my clever ploy did work on one or two, but we have got correct answers. And the first correct answer, because the answer is 3. Now, I thought by putting 3, 4, 5, people will go for 5, thinking, or possibly thinking of 5 loaves, 2 fishes, and the number 5 would come to mind. But we've got Judy Erickson has given us A.
Well done, Judy.
She's correct, isn't it? Where am I to you? I've lost my question now. Yeah. I lost my question. I did them in different orders to match the things we were talking about. Judy Erickson, give us A. Carlin Scott, give us A.
Well done, Carlin.
Peggy Reid.
Well done, Peggy.
There we go.
Excellent.
New name on the podium. There we go.
Minnie B said I can do Spanish instead if you want. Okay, then just you can have a laugh, anybody who speaks Spanish. I'll try reading this in Spanish. ¿Cómo te llamas a un oso sin dientes? Un osito de goma, or goma. Depends which Spanish you're learning. What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear. Oh, very good, very good. Don't do it in Latin. I did Latin for 2 years and I can't remember anything.
No, Latin is a step too far. Now then, folks, it is 10 o'clock and you will not be having the usual final question.
No.
Because I can say with some confidence that Manky did not appear in this week's video because he was down on the south coast, or at least that's where I thought he was. I thought he was down on the south coast with his mates going to the panda parade at the Teddy Bears picnic. But according to Ed, he wasn't because there are pictures. Now, they may have been doctored. Check them out on the Facebook group because Ed has got pictures of Manky turning up all over Leinster in places I can't imagine how he got there because even with my assistance it would have been tricky.
He does climb very well though, for a panda.
He does. So your final question is this. It's not about bears, it's about lions. Right.
And tigers.
Caroline was very impressed with the lions outside Courthouse. And they are the most popular animal in the world of heraldry. Heraldry.
It's getting late.
Yeah, in the world of heraldry. Representing strength, courage, nobility and royalty. But what term would be used in heraldry, coats of arms? What word would be used in describing in a coat of arms the lions that we saw? Would it be A, passant, B, rampant, or C, regardant?
Go.
Talking of Latin, dear, that sounds a bit Latin.
Right, I know what I'm going for on that one. Let's have a look. Oh, that's not fair. I just guessed on the things.
Right, so do you think the lions we saw, those two lions outside there that were stood facing one another and walking towards each other, do you think that they in the world of heraldry, which is on a coat of arms, would they be described as A, passant, B, rampant, or C, regardant?
Now, regardant, I thought, because regarder in French is to look at. So I thought, oh, they're facing each other, so maybe they're regardant, but obviously not. Linda said, is Manky sipping on the teapot spout? No, he's playing an instrument. I know, you can't hear it, he's not picking up on the microphone, but he's driving me nuts. He's playing Tom Jones songs on the teapot, or the kettle. He loves Tom Jones. You should hear him singing Tom Jones' song.
Do you remember that chap? Used to do record breakers.
Oh yes, he reckoned he could play anything with it, and he just stick a
he had the world record for playing the most items, wouldn't he?
Yes, he used to play a
bedstead, everything.
Bed headboard thing.
Yeah, he was good, he was. Right then, it's the last question, and the answers are pouring in, and I can tell you that Caroline was wrong saying regardant, because then the lion would have been looking back.
Ah, knew something to do.
If he was rampant, he would have been up on his back legs and inside profile.
Yep, I know that because they do the rampant lion is part of the gold markings, isn't it?
Yeah.
And silver hallmarks, that's the one.
That's right. But passant is to walk. It's the walking lion. So we're looking for A's, and the first A in, a new face on the podiums tonight, Bonnie Tyler fan 34.
Well done, Bonnie Tyler fan.
Then we've got a man who just can't stay away from those top places. It is the man on a train with an anchor, Adam.
Well done, Adam.
And now we're going to have to scroll down a bit to find another A. And there we go. It is the lady who has a grandfather who was a wonderful carpenter, Rachel Bailey.
Well done, Rachel.
So there we go. It's Bonnie Tyler fan 34, followed by Adam, followed by Rachel.
Right.
And to be honest, there aren't a lot. Linda Peterson and Jason and Andrea and M. Terry Lane, the only others that got the A.
Well done.
There we go. So it wasn't a lot of people. A lot of people thinking like Caroline. A lot of people going for a word they recognise. Rampant, you hear a lot. The rampant lion, because they're talking around antiques. But we had a passant lion this time. There we go.
Minnie Beast has given us one last joke. What did the panda bear say after looking at his GPS? Give me a second to get my bearings. I think the jokes tonight.
I think that's enough panda jokes for tonight. Don't you? Yes. Well, folks, thank you for being with us. Please go on over onto the Facebook group. If you haven't seen that cat feeling good, it'll brighten your day, I promise you. As will all the other stories there. Thank you for all your contributions.
Yep.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, it's been great fun. And we'll see you all next time. But until then, don't forget, have
fun. Bye.